What's going on? Here we go. Who's ready to learn how to get paid to speak the easy way? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, first we always have to figure out who's in the room. It's always very, very important to know who is in the room. I got some people on this side, some people on that side. I got some people virtually. If you're virtual, comment down below. Who do you help and how do you help them? Just let me know. You can call some things out. All right. Who do you help and what do you help them to do? I need to know who's I'm in the room with. Right here. What you got? What you got for us? What you got? What you got?
I help students learn computer science, and I also help teachers become more acquainted with artificial intelligence and how to set up computer science programs.
Sounds really important. Super, super important. That's awesome. Well, shout out to y'all. Anybody that helps somebody do something is, I really feel like, super, super important to the value of life. I'm Darrell Williams Jr. What I do is I help people learn how to take the information that is in your head and monetize it through speaking. That's what I do. And it's interesting because I call that type of person, the person that has information, that gets the information out of their head to somebody else, an expertpreneur. Why? Because if you are an expert, somebody who is a course creator, a workshop presenter, a trainer, a coach, an author, anybody who has information in your head and you are getting it from your head to inspire a transformation in somebody else's mind, you are an expertpreneur. So the question I have for you is just, are you what you call an expertpreneur? Come on in, good to see you, good to see you. Good to see you. We're just discussing what an expertpreneur is. So I need somebody in the audience to let me know what an expertpreneur is. I'm not gonna go back. You have to describe it. You gotta describe it for our new attendees.
Someone who knows something and shares that with the person that they're looking to impart their wisdom on.
That's it. That's it. I love it. Snaps for you. So, do you consider yourself an expertpreneur? Are you somebody who has information that helps somebody else because of the information you have in your head? Come on now. Sound you confidently. Confident. Absolutely. That's it. Fantastic. So if you are an expertpreneur, you might have been wondering just a couple of things. Let me know if any of these make sense to you, because there's some things that are on your mind as I know that they were on mine. It's interesting because when you are trying to make sure that other people get the information, sometimes it gets really tough. And you get so much advice, like, you should try this, you should post every day. Or it's like, no, don't post every day. Just make sure you have really good content. It doesn't matter how often you post, just make sure it's really good. And you're just thinking of all the things, and they're saying, you should speak on stage. No, you should start a podcast. Like, you just hear all the things. And then you really just ask the question, listen, what is gonna work? Like, I just wanna know what works. I don't need to know all the things. Just please, somebody tell me what works. Anybody feeling that? Experience that? Yeah, like, just tell me what works. Or maybe, right? Maybe you know that God has called you to do something and God has called you to speak to somebody. But when you try to find the opportunities, they don't even give you a chance to help them. Like, you try to go to these schools maybe and talk to the elementary students, or maybe you try to go give them your book, or maybe you try to go empower somebody who you know is trying to recover from trauma, right? And you just want to help them, but they won't even give you the chance. And then what happens a lot of times, I don't know if it's just me or if it's somebody else as well, but what happens a lot of times after that is then we start asking the question, is it me? Like, maybe I just don't have what it takes. I see other people doing it, other people getting paid to speak, other people are on stages, other people are writing books, other people have programs, other people are doing all these things. Maybe it's me. The problem is with me. Anybody have kind of felt that before? I know it's me. I know exactly how you feel, because that is literally the path that I went through. 100%. That's literally the path that I went to. A lot of you know me as an educator. I was in the classrooms, I started off as a terrible teacher and transitioned from that terrible teacher to two-time teacher of the year. And what happened as a result, I found myself on stages speaking of people, helping teachers all across the world. But then the part that you probably don't know is that when I started this new venture, I'm trying to learn how to speak on stages and things like that, there was a whole new learning curve. I thought teaching was one thing. Now starting a business is something completely different. And it's crazy because I knew I had like the gift of the ability to speak. Like, yeah, I can speak in all these things. But for some reason, I'm trying to get booked to speak and people are saying, oh, we don't have the budget. I see you buying thousands of dollars worth of things. What do you mean you don't have the budget? Like, what are you saying right now? Or I'll say, I can definitely do the keynote, or I can empower these people. I can do this. I have a book. You can buy my book. Like all these things. And they're like, oh, no, it's not really a fit for us. It's okay. And I'm trying to ask myself, just what is going to work? Somebody please just tell me. I'm paying coaches. I'm having mentors. Just what is going to work? And I started to get discouraged because, again, I know that I can transition from a terrible teacher to a 2-time teacher of the year. I've done it. I know how to do it. I can help so many teachers that are struggling. I just wanted to help the teacher that I once was. But they wouldn't even give me the chance. They wouldn't sign a contract. They wouldn't bring me in. I had an offer for teachers where I'm going to have a coaching program. I'm pitching my offer. Nobody's buying it. I'm just so confused. Like, God, I know I can help these people, but they won't even give me the chance. So then, just like we described earlier, the exact feelings I was going through, we call it imposter syndrome, where I was like, it's me. The problem is with me. I see other people who know things. They're growing on YouTube. They're going viral. They're doing all these things. And here I am struggling to try to get booked. So I get it. And it's not a comfortable feeling. It's not a place that we enjoy being. It's not a place that we like to be in. But if we can be honest, it's a place that we've all kind of been before. Struggling and wondering, like, why is this happening to me? But I learned that there was a couple of things that I could do to actually shift and make that transition. And when I learned these few things, and it really wasn't even that hard, but when I really dialed in and tuned in and learned a couple of things, that's what allowed me to transition and build a multiple 6-figure speaking business. That's what allowed me to impact hundreds and thousands of people all across the world with my message. And that's what allowed me to find monetize expertise where I help other people do the exact same thing. It's because the slight things that I had to learn in the moment where I felt like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So here's what I used to think. Let's talk about money first. Let's just get into it, because why not? I used to think that I was supposed to price based off of my expenses and the effort that it would require. I'm gonna stay there for a second because I know for a fact that somebody else is in that exact same situation. When somebody asks us how much it is for us to do the thing that we are called to do, we start thinking, okay, all right, it's gonna take me 2 hours to make the presentation, and now I gotta travel, I gotta fly. And we start thinking about our expenses and our effort and think that we have to price based off of that. I was completely wrong on that. Then I also thought that once I incorporated my business, that traffic would just start coming. Once I got the LLC, boom, like just things would just start rolling in. Like, I got my LLC, I paid my little $250, get it set up. Like, I am good. We are set. I got my website going. Crickets, nothing's coming in. I used to think that just because I had the information, I was a terrible teacher and I'm a 2-time teacher of the year. I know how to teach effectively. I thought because I had the information that just having the information was enough to qualify me as a speaker. All those things are wrong. That's what I was doing so wrong early in the beginning. And it's crazy because I thought I was doing the right thing. And that's actually what unconscious incompetence is. That's where I was. I thought I was doing the right thing. I'm thinking I'm showing up. I'm thinking I'm doing all the things all the right way. But I unconsciously had no idea that I did not know what I was doing. And if we can be honest, there are a lot of people that start in unconscious incompetence. But the beautiful thing is just because you start there doesn't mean you have to stay there. Just because you start there doesn't mean you have to stay there. I got a message this week and last week from some people that I was talking to. I want you to see what happens. I know it's small. I'll read it to you. I want you to see what happens and when you transition from that unconscious incompetence. Good evening. Come on in. All right. So I was in the unconscious incompetence phase where I was like, I had no idea that I didn't know what I was doing. But you don't have to stay there. One of my friends texted me 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, one of my friends texted me. He said, peace and blessings, brother. Been watching you on LinkedIn. I've been taking your advice and I got my first 5-figure deal just by following your advice. And I'm with the school system. And today I just secured an even bigger one with a company, which I can't name. And he's like, God is good. I was like, let's go. Happy for you. What is it for? He's like, I'm speaking on mental health and things like that. Just from following the steps that I'm about to show you right now. You can see the date on that, 10/17. random email from a teacher that was on one of my webinars just like this. And she was there, she was paying attention, she was applying it. She said, I actually have a presentation this Friday, right? She's messaged that to me right after a presentation. She said, my PD went so well, thanks. You have keys that I need to collect. I captured the audience's attention with the opening story, thanks to your prompt. That night we went through how to tell stories, and this was the feedback from her principal. What I'm trying to help you understand is, I know it may feel like I'm in a season of unconscious incompetence, all right? I may feel like I think I'm doing things I'm supposed to do, but I'm not quite doing it the right way. But just because you start there doesn't mean you stay there. Is that all right? Is that making sense? Somebody break it down for me. What's unconscious incompetence? What does that mean? Yeah. We had some people just walk in. I want to make sure that they get it. All right? So somebody that was here, what is unconscious incompetence? No, he's a star student. You can't keep asking him the questions. All right? He answered the first one. All right?
So you are
Here we go.
aware of the skill and your lack of proficiency.
You're unaware of the skill and your lack of proficiency. I was talking about the fact that I thought I knew what I was doing when I first started trying to speak. Had absolutely no idea. But I thought it looked like I knew what I was doing. And that's the crazy thing, because sometimes we see a little bit of success and that actually hinders our growth and progress. I might get paid to speak here and there, but it wasn't consistent. So I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing, but I actually wasn't.
What'd you call that?
Unconscious incompetence. Unconscious incompetence. So what I had to realize was just a couple of things. I told you, when it came to speaking and pricing, what I thought was, initially, I thought that my effort and my expenses would dictate how much I was supposed to charge. What I realized is that it really has little to do with the amount of time that you're speaking, how much you charge. I'm actually going to show you the value equation so that you can determine how much to charge, so people say yes. Is that all right? Yeah, because that's what ultimately we need to make sure that happens. Second, I realized that I needed a system for marketing lead generation. Just because I said, hey, I'm a speaker, didn't mean that people came coming and calling. All right. I had to create a system that generated leads for me consistently, and I'm gonna show you that as well. I also realized that there are moves that you have to make in order to inspire people with your words. It's not just about talking. All right. There are things that you can do to make the learning stick, and that's super, super, super critical for people that are just like us. All right. So real quick, that's it. Today, here are the 3 things I'm gonna learn. 1, I wanna show you how to set a price that people will gladly pay, a price that you will graciously accept. That is the beautiful balance. They're gonna gladly pay, you'll graciously accept, you're gonna feel good about it, they'll feel good about it. How many of us are confused about pricing sometimes? All right, we're like, is $150 a good price? Is $20,000? Like, how much do I charge for this? Right? All right, so I'm gonna show you how to get that dialed in. Also, I'm gonna show you how to find your first or next speaking engagement, even if you don't have a big following. Okay, show you how to get that, and it can happen in 14 days or less, guaranteed. I'm gonna show you the step-by-step process, and then I'm gonna show you how to get invited back or referred time and time again. Because how many of us know that is where the real impact and income comes from? It's funny. I was with I went to where were we? July 4th. I went to Tennessee, and there's Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Anybody been there? Gatlinburg. It's like a touristy type place. Okay, cool. I'm the only one that just been. Yeah, I've been we've been there a lot of times, like several times. This is my first time going. So I went, and they had a lemonade stand, and it was pretty cool. Like, they had this lemonade press, and it squashed the lemonade right in front of you, and then he put in some sugar and some water, and they has a swirly straw. I was like, oh man, like, it was a whole thing. And the lemonade was gross. It was like, why? Like, it was so bad. Like, what are you doing? But I realized that the reason why they're still in business is because it looked really good on the outside, right? And it's a tourist attraction, which means they consistently get new customers over and over and over and over again. If I ever go back, I'm not going back to that stand, but it's okay, because they get hundreds of people coming every day. As a speaker, as an author, as a workshop presenter, that's not how it works for us. You can't just expect to get hundreds and hundreds of new leads every single day, which means you got to crush it with the opportunities that you have, because that's what's going to lead to more opportunities. So you can't have gross lemonade. Like, it has to be good. It has to be good in order for you to get rebooked. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to make that happen. All right, so here we go. Here's how we get paid to speak the easy way. You ready? Ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm like, here we go. Here's how I get paid to speak the easy way. First, you want to adopt a win-win pricing structure. For those of us that are taking notes, now's a great time because you definitely want to write this down. I'm about to get in my teaching bag. Here we go. You ready for it? Come on, ex-math teacher. Boom. Value equation for expertpreneurs. Again, can somebody define what an expertpreneur is? Because we had some people just walk in. Define it for me. All right, star student. Okay, you can do it.
When you have something in your mind that you wish to convey to someone else that is worth them knowing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Shout out. Come on, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Feeling great. All right, so yes, expertpreneurs, like when somebody, you have the information. So check this out. Now, I'm gonna go through it real slow because I know that not everybody was a math scholar. All right, we're gonna take our time. All right, so the first thing, in the numerator of our fraction, I lost somebody already. That's the top. Up here at the top. Here we go. Mr. James O'Neill, Master for All. You specialize in mathematics. Help me out. If we are trying to make this fraction as big as possible, what needs to happen to the numerator? What needs to happen to the denominator? Which one needs to grow? Which one needs to shrink?
When you say as big as possible, you mean the value at the end being the large number.
So he's trying to be expert math teacher. Like, you know what I mean.
So the numerator needs to be large, the denominator needs to be small.
Okay, so check this out. We want to make this value as great as possible. We want the numerator to grow while the denominator shrinks. So here are the factors in your numerator when you are trying to decide on pricing. I wanted to start with pricing because I know that's a thought that's in a lot of people's minds. Number one, the first thing that you want to make sure grows, if you want to increase the price, is the reach of the impact. What do I mean by that? The reach of the impact. I'm just going to go kind of all over the place. If you are saying that, I'm trying to hit as many different categories as possible. If you come and say, I want to speak to a school, to students about financial literacy, that's one thing. If you say, I want to speak to district superintendents about how to improve culture in their schools, that's something different. When you're speaking to a group of students, how many students are you impacting? Just the students, give me a rough number. 15, 100, maybe you put 4 classes together, you get 100 students, maybe 15 if it's a small class. If you're speaking to the district level superintendents about how to grow their culture, how many students are you impacting?
A lot, because it's a district.
Thousands. When we're talking about the reach of the impact, when you are impacting a smaller group of people, then that is going to be a lower price that you can charge. But when the reach of the impact is greater, then that is when you charge a greater amount. That's why if you were to speak to a group of students, it's one price, but if you speak to leaders, executives, C-suite leaders and things like that, that's why that price is different because of the reach of the impact. Does that make sense? Okay, so what you're saying, how many people is it going to impact? That's going to determine where you can price it. Second, we're going to multiply that by the alignment to the dream outcome. Let's stick with that same example, the alignment to the dream outcome. I'm going to talk to this group of students about financial literacy. Think about the dream outcome of that organization. And I'm not talking about, in a perfect world where everybody just has beautiful dreams. I mean, literally affecting the bottom line. The dream outcome, when you go talk to a middle school, say, I want to help your students grow in financial literacy. Think about their standards, think about what they're trying to get accomplished this year, think about their strategic plan. How high is financial literacy on their list? You see what I'm saying? But when you say I can speak to your district level superintendents about school culture and teacher retention, when you think about their bottom line, teacher retention means I don't have to rehire year over year. Oh yeah, you can charge a higher price for that because you're affecting their dream outcome specifically. One of my mentors says, you're going to want to write this down, this is gold. One of my mentors says, in order to get paid effectively, you want to solve a purchase order problem. And maybe I should stay here for a second. Yeah, let me stay here for a second. This is a good spot. Because what I don't want you to think is you have to change your approach or change who you are or change your message. Right now, I'm just showing you how to price, because you might be hearing, well, I'm a mental health specialist. Oh man, I really help with AI. Like, how is that going to, I have to change what I'm talking about in order to reach? No. You have to, this is the ninja strategy. You have to understand the transformation that you are going to provide and be able to word it in such a way that it directly aligns to their goals. So if you come in and say, I can help improve your student mental health, they're thinking, do I have a mental health budget? Some schools do, some schools don't. I don't have a mental health budget, that's not gonna work. But if you're solving a purchase order problem, what this sounds like is, what I can do is I work with students to improve their student achievement and to fight chronic absenteeism. Now, there's a purchase order to fight chronic absenteeism because there's grant money to make sure the students get there on time. The fact of the matter is, how are you going to help the chronic absenteeism? You're going to work on their mental health. You just didn't lead with that because no purchase order for that. Is that making sense? You got to, I don't want to say backdoor it, but that's what I say it's a ninja strategy where you need to align it to their dream outcome. What is their dream outcome? So many times I hear people saying, I want to get in these schools. I got a powerful story of resilience, man. When I was 3 years old, yeah, and you come into the school and you say that, and they think that's a great story. I don't have a budget for that. Because you want to tell me to help my students be more resilient. What you understand is once students are more resilient, that's going to increase graduation rates. That's what you lead with. I help schools increase graduation rates. You don't have to tell them the sauce, the secret sauce of how you do it. That happens once you get on stage, right? But when you're talking about pricing, associated with a purchase order. Solve a purchase order problem. Align it to that dream outcome.
What's in it for me? You find out what's in it for them, then they'll
100%. When they find out what's in it for them and how it affects their bottom line, it's a business, right? Whether we're talking about schools, churches, organizations, even clients. Like, it's a business. What's in it for me? Boom. Align it to the dream outcome. So the two things that we're going to increase, let me hear you say increase. The reach of the impact and the alignment to the dream outcome. Now, I'm gonna pause right there before I get to the denominator, because again, I don't want you to change your style, because you might say, I don't want to talk to the superintendents. I want to talk to the students. That's perfectly fine. This is just the value equation. I just need you to understand. If your heart says speak to the students, cool. Just know you can't charge as much as somebody who's speaking to leaders. You just have to get more bookings, right? Because you can't, that's one of the things that a lot of people make a mistake of. They hear, man, I know people that charge $20,000 for a keynote. Okay, they're talking on $20,000 stages. Right? You go into the school in your backyard, like, hey, I want to charge $20,000 to speak to your students. They don't have it. They're not going to do that. It's not going to work. Right? You have to understand your reach of impact. The denominator. These are the ones we want to shrink. Let me hear you say shrink.
Shrink.
Let's get it. Shrink the speed to result. Meaning, how quickly can I implement the things that you are saying to achieve the desired outcome? If you can shrink that, you can charge more. Remember, these are the things that we're doing here at the bottom. Let's go ahead. How quickly you can get them to the desired outcome based on the things that you're saying or teaching. Let's stick with the same example. I'm going to talk to a group of students about financial literacy. Talking to 12-year-olds, they can't even get a credit card till they're 18, right? Now that's good. I'm glad that you are doing that. I wish we spoke more about financial literacy. But also, when we're talking about pricing, that's not a high ticket price that you're going to be able to charge at a normal or a typical organization. Because the speed to result, they're not going to see any results for the next 7 years. But if you're saying I have this proprietary framework that you can use to increase the culture in your school buildings, and I'm going to teach your district level superintendents, and your culture is going to improve before the end of this school year, yeah.
Disconnect.
You got something going on. Dang, what you doing, bro? Nah, that was me. My Bluetooth disconnected from my phone. And then the last one that you want to shrink, you can turn it off actually, is the perceived risk. The last thing that you want to shrink is the perceived risk, meaning they need to know that this is not something that is going to completely shake up everything that we're doing. If you come in and say, hey, listen, I've got this way that we are going to increase the school culture, right? But it's going to require a complete overhaul. all right, like that's a lot of investment. I'm a little nervous. The perceived risk also partners with your case studies, your testimonials, and results that you've gotten in the past. When you can show your case studies, testimonials, and results you've gotten in the past to mitigate the risk and saying, listen, no, working with me is a good decision. The lower the risk, again, the higher the price. So to recap, and to use this example, I'm gonna ask you which one you think would be which. To recap, if you want to increase the price, you might not want to increase the price, but if you want to increase your price, focus on increasing these two things and decreasing these two things. Increase the reach of the impact, increase the alignment to the dream outcome. You increase those things, you're on your way. Decrease the speed to result, decrease the perceived risk, and you're golden and you're on your way. Let's use this example I mentioned earlier with speaking to a group of students about improving their financial literacy versus we're speaking to a group of districts, superintendents about school culture. Which one, y'all, is going to be able to charge more? All right, you got it. It's alignment. It's in alignment. I'm going to be honest. Somebody came to my school last year to help students improve their financial literacy. Guess how much we paid them? It was a volunteer effort. It sure was, 100%. He came, he spoke to a group of 6th grade students. We had 18 in that class. He spoke to them about financial literacy. He's an accountant. He had a slideshow and everything. We don't have the budget for that, but you can come on out. We love to support. And then literally that same month, we spent $180,000 on a math curriculum. It's where it comes from. It has to align. There's money there, but it has to be in alignment, all right? Here's my favorite part. James,
Sir.
math guy. I see on the right side, we have a multiplication sign.
Yes, sir.
It's multiplying by something. Now, it says it's multiplying by your authority, right? But here's the interesting thing. You told me with the fractions, if I increase this and I decrease that, then the number is going. But what happens when I multiply it by my authority? If I multiply it by 0 authority, what happens when you multiply by 0? Y'all all math experts, okay. Here's the biggest thing, y'all. If you don't have authority on the topic you're trying to speak on, you can't charge anything at all. That, is 0. But the more authority that you have, that's the multiplying factor. When you are known for this thing, this is what you do, this is who you help, these are the results that you get. When you build your authority in that area, sky's the limit. All right, let me ask you this. How much do you think you'd have to pay me to sing the national anthem at your event? First, relax. I didn't even finish explaining. First of all, I can sing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? See, I sang at your birthday dinner. Exactly. You don't have to show the video, but I did. I did a happy birthday. And Michelle, how much do you think you should have paid for that? I didn't even charge you, but how much do you think you should have paid for that? It was. Uh-huh. Yeah, it started off a little rocky, but once we got there, okay, cool. Y'all playing me. So, okay, you would pay me a price, let's say $100, all right? But if it was John Legend, how much would you pay John Legend to sing the national anthem? Or thousands. You answered quick for that. You didn't even answer for mine. You just because he has the authority as a singer. You just know. We could be singing the same exact thing, the same exact event. You just know if John Legend's doing it, it's gonna be a lot. All right, I had somebody reach out to me this year, and she ran into me at a conference. She was like, "Man, I've been following you for years. It's just so amazing. It's so great. We really wanted to get you out to our school this year, but we couldn't make it work." I was like, "I don't remember a booking coming in." She said, "No, we didn't reach out because we didn't think we could afford you." First of all, I was like, "Bro, just try. Have the conversation. You never know." But she said, "No, I see your brand. I see all the things. I know our budget was not that high. I didn't want to disrespect you because we couldn't even afford you." When you build your authority, you just have this presence about you that says, okay, you demand X, Y, Z. That's what happens when you build your authority. So the first thing that you want to make sure you do when you get paid to speak is adopt a win-win pricing structure. Was that making sense? Did you take notes? are able to kind of sit and see how we start pricing. The next thing, the thing that it feeds off of this that's going to make it all tick, is to build your authority. That is the multiplying factor. Build your authority. It's crazy. So the same thing. Listen, when I first started the company, I transitioned from a terrible teacher and starting to speak on these stages. And I can remember that I was like, I can help all teachers do everything. First of all, I was like, I can speak about anything. Is anybody else like that? Like, you just give me the topic. Give me the topic and the stage. Like, I'm there. Like, I can speak about anything. And I was trying that. I got some bookings. I got some engagements. And then I was like, okay, let me just focus on education. I can speak to any teacher about anything, math, science, social studies. It doesn't matter. I was going to school. I said, I can speak to students. I can speak to your staff. And they're like, oh, okay. I can speak to your parents. Like, I can speak to the custodians. Like, just whoever it is. Like, I can speak. Like, I can empower. Like, God has called me to use my voice. And here's the crazy thing. I was getting some bookings. Like, it was happening. And I was like, okay, but why am I not breaking through? And a mentor told me, he said, you seem kind of scattered. Like, what do you mean? He said, you speak to everybody. I was like, yeah, but like, I speak to everybody. I can help everybody. Like, I want to help as many people as possible. And he said, in order to do that, you have to niche down until it hurts. I was like, what? I was like, nah. He's like, how do you niche down, right? How do you niche? I was like, no. I want to help as many people as possible. Watch what happened, though. Watch what happened. I took good advice. Sometimes it's good to listen to people, listen to those mentors. I took the advice. I said, I help new teachers. I help new teachers improve their teaching foundational skills so that they have confidence, they prevent burnout, and it reduces teacher turnover in the schools. That's who I help. That, for the first couple of years, when I was speaking to everybody, I was seeing some success. I was getting some bookings. I had some videos of me speaking on some stages. When I decided to focus on specifically new teachers, that was my first 6-figure year. I remember going to the schools, and not the same schools, but I remember going to the schools where at first I was saying, I can speak to anybody. Do you need a speaker for something? Like, just let me know. Let me do it. I'm like, oh, I don't have a budget. But then when I go and sit down with a principal and say, yeah, I can help your new teachers become better in the classroom so that we can turn the teachers that you have into the teachers you've been looking for so that you can prevent teacher turnover. You know what they said? They said, man, do you think you can talk to our veteran teachers too? Do you think you can talk to our students as well? I was like, listen, 2 years ago when I was saying I can speak to everybody, you were like, no. But now that I'm telling you I'm hyper focused on speaking to new teachers, you're like, man, we want you to speak to all people. My first 5-figure day came as a result of that conversation. I went in there they had 12 new teachers. My goal was to get them to speak to new teachers and then to get them some books. After the conversation, she was like, can you also speak to our students and parents? So it was a 12-hour day. I did the students from 8 to 12. I did the teachers from 1 to 3 to 4. And then I had the parents from 5 to 8, all in one day. Because I said I speak to new teachers. Write this down. Nobody cares about anything you do until you do one thing well. Then when you do one thing well, they want you to do everything. I'm going to say it one more time. Nobody cares about anything you do until you do one thing well. When you do one thing well, then they want you to do everything. It is for that reason that Rihanna has made so much money from her makeup and all these things more so than her music. She got known for her music. She got rich for access, right? When you do one thing, nobody cares about anything you do till you do one thing well. Then when you do one thing well, they want to know everything you've done. What else can you do? Can you do this too? Can you do that too? So build your authority in one area. Yep.
Just a curiosity one thing? Because now he does everything.
Steve Harvey's one thing was stand-up comedy. He don't even does stand-up anymore. His one thing was stand-up. He'll tell you in his story as well. He did stand-up that eventually led to TV, that eventually led to TV shows like sitcoms, that eventually led to where he is now and Miss America and all these great things. One thing well. So the first thing you want to do, so here's how you build your authority. All right, just some quick ways to build your, not quick ways, but some points to build your authority. First, you want to become known for helping a specific person get a specific result. So I know we brought up Rihanna and Steve Harvey, but we're expertpreneurs. We are people who monetize our expertise, the information. You need to become known for helping a specific person get a specific result. This is going to hurt. He's talking about niche down until it hurts. This is going to hurt because you're going to feel like you are cutting people off. You're going to feel like, but I know that I can help Black boys in math, but I can also help them in science too. I want to help them learn to read as well. All right? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that desire. Become known for doing one thing well. Get a specific result for a specific person. Then what do you want to make sure you do? You archive your intellectual property in a place that can easily be activated and created from. How do you get the result for that person? Why are you inspired to do this? What is your core story? Why did you get into this work? Why are you a mental health specialist? Like, why do you do this work? How do you help people transition from traumatic experiences and how do you help them heal from that? Like, put that into an archived area, a vault of information that is your intellectual property, because from there you can create anything. That's where your programs come from. That's where your next book comes from. That's where your signature keynote comes from. That's where your TED Talk comes from. It all comes from that vault of information where your authority is locked. And even saying this, I'm feeling some type of way because I remember going through this process and I'm like, no, why would I have a signature keynote? I can talk about anything at any time to anybody. But even if you think about musical artists, and Chris Brown is on tour right now. When Chris Brown gets up to sing, Chris Brown is singing Chris Brown songs. Like, people will be mad if he didn't get up there and was on some run it. Like, if he wasn't singing Run It, they was gonna be mad, right? He's been singing that since I was 12 years old. If he came out and said, hey, y'all, I'm gonna sing Taylor Swift songs, they'd be like, nah, please stop. Like, give me your money back. Because you go to a Chris Brown concert to hear Chris Brown sing Chris Brown things. You listen to Michael Jackson on replay because you hear Michael Jackson do Michael Jackson things. But when it comes to us and speaking and presenting sometimes, we're like, I did this one already. I gotta do something new. No, they don't want something new. They want you. They want you. And that you lock that in your IP vault. They want you, your stories. They want your frameworks. They want to laugh at your jokes, the jokes they heard before. Andrew, when he came in, laughed at me because he's like, I was wondering if I was going to see that keynote suit. When you see me, you're going to see me in a funny green paisley keynote suit. That's my suit. It goes with my keynote. Like, it matters, right? They want the suit. You know how many people have stopped me like, the suit. Like, they want the suit. All right. Archive intellectual property. Here's my favorite, man. Again, this is one you want to write down just the way it is. You need to become so clear with who you help that the people who don't hire you know who to refer you to.
That's good.
Because Michelle helps with AI. If you go to a school and you're like, yeah, I help with schools that are overwhelmed with AI, with the AI implementation, computer science, and things like that. If the school is saying, you know, we're actually really good on AI, we have a strong program, but the school down the block, I know that they are struggling with their AI implementation. Let me connect you two, because you are clear. If you come in and you say, yeah, you know, again, I got the story of resilience. I was 3 years old, and you know, I fell out of my mama's car, and but by the grace of God, I'm living, and I'm here, and I really talk to students to really help them understand. Like, you just can't give up, you just can't quit. They're in their mind, they're not thinking, man, there's somebody who needs to hear this story. They're sitting there thinking like, all right, okay. But when you are clear, this is who I help, this is the result that I get. Even if they're not the ones that need you, they're clearly hearing, oh, that's what you do. You help women overcome traumatic experiences? yo, my cousin was just, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're super clear with who you help, we can now position you to where you will be useful. Is that making sense? Be so clear with who you help that even those that don't hire you know who to refer you to. That's number 2. And speaking of referrals, that is going to lead us right into number 3. But first, I want to make sure that you actually implement some of these strategies and actually work this thing out. So I need you to answer these questions. You're probably going to want to screenshot it because they're relatively long. But if you answer these questions, that is the first step in building your authority. Question number 1, 2, and 3. 1, what transformation are you uniquely qualified to create? And who feels it when you do? What evidence proves that you can deliver that transformation? What stories, what results, what frameworks, what proves that you can do this? And then lastly, what can you create that is so distinct, so consistent, that if someone discovered you for the first time today, it would be obvious what you're known for? I'm going to try this. Does anybody know Simon Sinek? You do? You know anything that he wrote? What? Start with why. Simon Sinek, I think that's how you say his name. Simon Sinek wrote the book Start With Why. And you probably have heard concepts from that book. It's like grounding yourself in your why. The reason why you do anything is because you first were inspired to do it. What is your why? You ever heard that question? What's your why? That comes from Simon Sinek. His TED Talk is the second most viewed TED Talk ever in the world. Hundreds of millions of views, dozens of millions of views. That is what Simon is known for. He is known for Start With Why. I had no idea that James was going to know who Simon was. I knew he was going to say Start With Why. What can you create that is so distinct, so consistent, that if someone discovered you for the first time today, they'll say, oh, Josh, yeah, he's the blank guy. Oh yeah, that's what Josh does, right? Be super, 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 super clear. Is that making sense? Let's get it. So there's just 3 things you got to do to get paid to speak. Is this simplifying it for you? Is it making it feel doable? The whole goal is just to make it feel doable. So I showed you how to price. Adopt a win-win pricing structure. You want them to graciously pay a price that you will gladly accept. 2, you want to make sure that you build your authority. You've got to be seen as the authority on that topic. And then lastly, I told you you're an expertpreneur. That means you're different. Is it okay to be different? Yeah, I love that. Y'all being so confident being different, right? Because why? Entrepreneurs can sell 4 different things. I'm gonna break it down for you. Be real quick. We might have talked about this. We might have. Let me see if you remember. 1, entrepreneurs can sell products. Phones, t-shirts, hats. Entrepreneurs can sell services. Mow your lawn, HVAC, toilet. Oh, plumbers. I was like, what are those people called? Plumbers. Entrepreneurs can sell SaaS, HubSpot, CRM. That's software as a service. But entrepreneurs can also sell information. There are only 4 things that you can sell if you're an entrepreneur. But if you sell products, services, or SaaS, you're different than someone who sells information. Because if you are selling product, service, or SaaS, the people who are buying your thing that you're selling do not need to understand the thing that you're selling. I've seen somebody record like literally a movie commercial on their iPhone with special settings and things like that. Most of y'all are not doing that. Most of y'all don't understand the iPhone enough to be able to record a 4K movie theater grade level video, but you understand enough to do what you need to do with it, right? So you don't need to understand everything about the product. You just need to make sure it works. If you're selling a service, most of the time, the reason why we're purchasing the service from you is because we don't understand how to do it ourselves or don't want to. So I don't need to understand. The other day, our AC went out over the summer, and the guy came out and he was explaining to me everything that he was about to do. I was like, bro, just go do it. Like, it's okay. I don't need to know. It's all right. Here's the ladder. You can do it, bro. So I don't need to understand the service. And with SaaS, I don't need to understand the software. But with information, if you are selling information, In order for them to experience the transformation that you need them to get, for them to get the results that you promised that they would get, they have to understand the information that's coming from your head and out of your mouth. If they don't understand it, they won't be able to apply it. If they don't apply it, they won't be able to see the transformation. People who sell information are the only category of people where you have to make sure that people understand the exact thing that you were selling. Which is why I always like to say, if what you sell is expertise, you can't scale if you can't teach. Teaching is the one thing that every expertpreneur has to master, and so many people don't. If you are, again, a workshop presenter, a keynote speaker, an author, like anybody who is giving information, people have to understand it. If what you sell is expertise, you can't scale if you can't teach. What's going to happen is people are not going to understand what you're saying. People are not going to buy in. People are not going to be transformed. And they're going to walk away sometimes saying, that was good, but I didn't get anything. And if they didn't get anything, are they going to come back? No, you just gave them nasty lemonade. They're not coming back. The craziest part, though, is that this is where most people are unconsciously incompetent, because we think that talking is teaching. Just because you talked about it doesn't mean you taught about it. There's actually, oh man, so this is the thing that you got to master. There's an art and science to teaching. And if you are somebody, again, who is an expertpreneur, you are selling your expertise. I'm gonna say it one more time. If what you sell is expertise, you can't scale if you can't teach. You've got to master the art and science of teaching. Art and science, let me break it down for you. The art side of teaching. Okay, so let me use a basketball analogy for all of my huge basketball fans out there, because you know, I be hooping. So there are, yes, you do have the video of me hooping. All right. So there's an art side of a layup. There's a science side of a layup. Just like the art side of teaching, the science side of teaching. The science side of the layup says you need to take the ball, you need to hit it off the backboard, try to get it in the white square, let it bounce into the rim, the hoop, the goal, whatever you want to call it. I'm a hooper. All right. That is the science side. Like there's a science of how to score. The art side, though, is when you come down with a little razzle dazzle, you get a little, hey, you know what I'm saying? You put a little art side to it, you have a little finesse, you have a little razzle dazzle. The razzle dazzle is gonna get you on SportsCenter top 10, like, oh, did you just see that behind the back, right? If you only do the science, like you might be good, but you won't be memorable. But then I've seen a whole bunch of people who get really, really focused on the art, but they didn't master the fundamentals and they just miss all the time. Like you look real pretty coming down, and then you're not really doing anything. Which is why the art and the science matter so much. The same is said when we're teaching and speaking from stage. Some of us really, really, really are good with the art side of it. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. There's a couple of us in here that I know for a fact that you're really, really good with the art side of it. You're gonna make the crowd move. You're gonna get them excited and energetic. We standing up, hey, we have a really good time. The art side of it, you're gonna be super engaging. And they're gonna walk away saying, that was great. Can I get a picture of your slides? Oh, that was so cool, that was awesome. But not that we wanna book you to work with you. I don't wanna be in your coaching program. I don't wanna hire you as a consultant. It was just really fun. When people come up to you afterwards and ask you only like just for your slides, what they're saying is psychologically, I had a great time. I want to capture this moment. I want to take this information and go back and implement it. How many of us have taken pictures of slides and never opened them again? Or we open them again and it's like, what was this supposed to be? But in the moment, what they're trying to say, what they're conveying to you without knowing the words to use, is they're saying, this was a great experience. I'm trying to capture this experience. But they're saying there's something that was missing that didn't make me say, man, I know exactly what to do and exactly how to move on to the next step. That is the science side of it. The science side of it is how we actually empower our learners, okay? So the art side of teaching, your encouragement and your engagement, you're making sure that they are encouraged, that they are feeling good about it, but that they're engaged, they're locked in, they're paying attention, you're telling stories, you're having fun, you're joking around with them. The science side of teaching, that's when you're going to use pedagogical practices to actually make the learning stick. What moves are you making? Are you incorporating frameworks? Are you giving the action steps? Are you giving a step-by-step guide? Is there a way for them to apply the information that you're teaching them so that they can actually experience the transformation? The craziest part is, I'm gonna show you the science side of it. The craziest part is so many of us see other speakers and we don't even realize how much work they're putting in on the science side of it. And we think it's all art. So what happens is we start to replicate their science approaches with our art strategies. Stick with me. And what happens is we think we're doing a good job, but we're using things out of context and without understanding it. So when somebody else starts off their keynote and they're like, because I do this all the time. I'm gonna give you a play right here. I always start off with finding out who's in the room. Not always. A lot of times I start to find out who's in the room. I'm like, okay, let me find out who are teachers in the room. Ooh, let me hear the teachers. Okay, administrators. Ooh, okay, superintendents. I'm calling out. And somebody who's thinking it from the art side of it is like, oh, he's trying to get the crowd hype. So when you start your presentation, you go in there, all right, what city are you from? Is Charlotte in the house? All right, is Atlanta in the house? Right? And you think that you are, yeah, that's what speakers do. For me, that was science. I was trying to segment the room and figure out who was in there. I'm listening to the applause to see how many teachers are there so I can tailor my talk for who's in the room. If I hear more teachers than superintendents or more leaders than teachers, I know that there's a different vernacular that I'm going to use. I know that there's different examples I'm going to use. That's why I start that way. But for somebody who doesn't understand what I'm doing, they don't understand the science side of it, they're like, oh, we start by getting the room hype. But that's why it's so important to understand both of them. And that's why that's so critical, like when I work with my clients, to really help them understand. For me, that was the evaluation principle. I was understanding who was in the room so I can determine what they know so I can give them what they need. All that happened in the first 10 seconds. And y'all thought I was just trying to get them hype, right? But that's why you got to understand both the art and the science side of it. So real quick, I'll give this to you. We'll have some fun with this. We don't, I can't stand here and just tell you, here, on your next presentation, do this thing and it's gonna crush, because everybody is different. Everybody's different. I can't tell you, here, go tell a story a better way. You might be really good with storytelling. You might tell too many stories, right? But here's what I can do. I want you to try to self-identify. I'll try to do this quickly because I can give each of you one move that you can make, but I can't give everybody the same move. And I'll show you why in a second. Andrew, you know about this right here. You know about this right here. Michelle, you know about this right here. You know about this. Because everybody has a unique teaching archetype. If you are an expertpreneur, if you are giving information, there is a natural way in which you do this. This was super research-based, using DISC assessment, Kevin Kolb's learning styles. We put this together. What's the way you naturally show up and teach based off of your personality? And check it out. Some of you are producers. A producer is somebody who is all about structure, all about getting it done, all about that outcome, system, structure, clarity. What happens though sometimes is you're really rigid and you're really cold. Just do this, get it done. Some other people are performers. You are the person that moves the crowd with energy, with storytelling, with humor. I'm not gonna tell y'all who you are. I know who you are, right? But sometimes there's not as much depth. Sometimes it's a little bit scattered. Sometimes you're talking and sometimes you lose your train of thought. You start telling a story that's a funny story and you, where was I going with that? Because you just want to make sure the crowd is having a good time. They're laughing. Let's keep it going. The peacemaker, somebody who creates safety and trust through nurture and belonging, super empathetic. People love to be around you. They feel warm. But what happens sometimes is that there's a soft ask, which means you're not really applying the pressure. It's like, well, this is what works for me. You can do it if you want or not. It's up to you. No pressure. Right? And as somebody who is, again, you need them to experience a transformation in order for them to get the result. If you know this is the thing that's going to work, and you're like, yeah, it's up to you if you want to. I don't, no pressure. And they don't actually do it. They're going to walk away saying, yeah, no, they don't. Their program doesn't work. They're not going to say, I didn't do the steps. They're going to say, no, she doesn't, it didn't work. Lastly, the professor. You got all the rigor, the depth, the information, all the things, but sometimes you overteach and underactivate. What do I mean by that? Boy, the professor, I'm not gonna say all professors are boring, but the professor has all the facts, all the details, and all the information. And you hear people say all the time, man, that was deep. Oh man, that was great. That was a lot. I really, you know your stuff. All those things. But watch what happens. When you are the professor archetype and you overwhelm with information, you have the credibility. Your expertise gives you the credibility. People believe you. They're like, man, he knows what he's talking about. She knows exactly what she's talking about. I can tell she's learned. And they say, I want to be like that someday. I want to know it that well as well. You are the target, but you're not going to be my teacher because I can't learn from you. You're not breaking it down in such a way that I can actually get it. I see that you know your stuff, so you are my target, but I'm going to find somebody else to teach me how to do what you did. I'm not going to pay you because I can't understand from you. You're the target, but you're not the teacher. I have time for one. Who thinks they know what type of archetype they are? Which teaching archetype you are? I know which one you are. What is it? Yep. you just be talking now. But no, performers, right? So I'm gonna give everybody a move. Hopefully you self-identify for yourself. I'm a natural performer. And I told this story a couple of weeks ago. Andrew, I think you saw it on LinkedIn. The natural performer is why, that's the reason why. The first time I was on stage in front of 6,000 people, I was performing in front of 6,000 people. And at the end, I had one person that bought my offer. My offer was $99, not even a lot. I had one person that bought it. You know how many people took selfies with me though? That was great. Can I take a picture? Right? I'm like, you wanna scan this QR code to get the no, okay. Right? Because I performed and it was great, but I wasn't given practical strategy, step by step. Here's what you do. Here's how you experience the transformation. We were just laughing and we had a good old time. We had a great time. If you are one of these archetypes, I'll go back this way. I'll give you a quick move that you can make. I thought I had a slide, but it's okay. I'll give you a quick move that you can make. If you are a producer, sometimes you're too rigid. What you want to do is you want to incorporate storytelling. That's going to soften it and it's going to make it more relevant in the minds of your listeners. Okay? If you are, here's a step-by-step. Here's what you do. Here's how you get it done. Do this first, do that second, do that. You got to interject some stories and some humor, all right? Or you're going to lose them. You're the opposite if you're a performer. If you're a performer, you have stories and humors, interject some action items, some one step, do this, all right? Here's my point in saying all that. If you are a storyteller and you don't end with some sentence like that, you lost everybody. When you tell a story, a lot of times at the end you say, so here's my point. Here's what I mean by that. But if you're just telling stories just to tell stories, they're not always going to extract the principle on their own. Make it stick. I call them sticky statements. And with a sticky statement that they're going to hold on to. A peacemaker, give them an action item. Or earlier, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. And then professors, try to speak on like a 6th grade level or break it down. Ask yourself, is this something that a child could understand? And I'm not just talking about the vocabulary. I mean, with the amount of information and chunk it, meaning don't give them so much that you're overwhelming them. Okay? What I just did is not something I would typically do. I gave you 4 different things, but the reason why I was able to do that is because I told you first to segment yourself. You should only be listening to one right now, right? I wouldn't normally give you 4 things to try to go try. Hear your archetype and say, I need to work on frameworks. I need to work on stories or whatever it is. Those are definitely things I can help you with. What I was gonna say is, when you become masterful at this thing, when you really master the art and science of teaching, you're gonna know, it doesn't matter what archetype you are, you wanna do all of these things well. I'm not a peacemaker, but earlier I gave you an action step to go and build your authority. Here are the 3 questions you need to answer to build your authority. That's super helpful for peacemakers because peacemakers are just like, you should build your authority, like, if you want to. No, these are the steps, these are the questions you need to answer, right? So understand how to do these things. That's what I said, I'm a natural performer, so I have to force myself for frameworks. This whole 3-step process, like that is because I'm a performer, I have to organize my thoughts this way, or else I just would have been up here performing the whole time.
What you
Yeah.
say to do for a performer, then you have to make it stick.
And sticky statements and frameworks. I want to create frameworks. And we can actually talk about that. We have a Q&A at the end. There's also a free gift for everybody that's here. I meant to mention that earlier, but there's a free gift for everybody that's here. I'll show you about it in just a second. But Yes, frameworks and sticky statements, okay? All right, so in order to get paid to speak, the easy way first, you want to adopt a win-win pricing structure. Then you want to build your authority. And last, you've got, if what you sell is expertise, you can't scale if you can't teach. You've got to crush it from stage. I was debating whether or not I should say this because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I feel like I should just put it out there. If you are getting opportunities to speak that are not turning into multiple opportunities, the reason why is because they had enough. They had enough the first time. When you speak, it should lead to rebookings or referrals. Now, sometimes they don't want the same speaker over and over again. But when you crush it from stage, one speech should easily go into 3+. And that just, again, James didn't know I was going to call on him. But James, is that a fair number, or am I inflating it, or do you support that 3 should be, when you step off stage, you should have contacts of 3 people that are interested? 3 is fair for a typical engagement. When you're speaking to, when you get in those rooms where you have a whole lot of qualified leads, like you're speaking to a room full of people who can actually bring you into book, and you get 10, 12 contacts, that's crazy. I love it. But yes, in a typical room, there should be 3 people that are ready to refer you.
When you say referrals, is it just those contacts, or are people now reaching out to you, or you like get their numbers and you're reaching out to them?
You are always going to want to get their information and reach out to them, because the most that they're going to be in love with you is that moment that they see you right then. And every moment that passes after that, they're going to forget you little by little by little by little. So one of the things that I do is I follow up, and within 24 hours, literally on Monday of last week, I stepped off stage. It was 4 contacts came up to me. They was like, man, we're having a conference next year. We would love to get you. Here's my card. We have a conference next year. We'd love to get you. Here's my card. I took those and took pictures of them and sent them to my booking agent, and was like, all right, we have 4 contacts. Start the play, like run the play. And within 24 hours, they should have a phone call, an email, a booking on the calendar to have a Zoom conversation, right? And if not, we follow up every other day until they say yes or no. But you want to follow up with them. To be honest, I don't even carry cards. Some people think that I'm joking, but I'm really not. They're like, do you have a card? I'm like, I don't, but I'll take your information, because I'm gonna give you my card and you're gonna forget. But I literally have no cards printed. He was like, do you have a card? I know, but give me your information, your name and your email address, and I'll reach out. I'll shoot you my information. Now I'm in control. Got it? That's how it works. Yep. Check it out. Question. Did I keep my promise? I told you that you would learn how to set a price that people will gladly pay and that you'll graciously accept. Did that happen? All right, cool. What about how to find your first or next speaking engagement, even if you don't have a lot of followers? Just said it. All right, what about how to get invited back and referred time and time again? You learn how to do that? Leave an impact, crush it from stage, get the information, all those great things, right? I know that I did my job if you can answer this or fill in this blank. If what you sell is expertise, you can't scale if you can't. Got it. You got it. You done leveled up on them, y'all. You done leveled up to level 2. You are now consciously incompetent. Shout out to you. Congrats. No, but in all seriousness, because consciously incompetent means that you are now aware that there's a skill that you need. True or false? You are aware now that there's a way in which you price in order to get booked. Are you now aware? Okay. Are you now aware, right, that there's a system that you need in order to create your vault and build your authority? You're now aware that you need to build your authority? Yeah. Okay, cool. And you are actually also aware that you got to teach from stage. But do you now feel like you can do all those things like right now? Got it. No, so you are aware, conscious, but you are still incompetent. But that's okay. It's not shade, it's just actually where we are. So I feel like with awareness comes a unique responsibility. Okay, so now you are aware. We all said that we are just aware. We are now aware. But with awareness comes responsibility, not just to you, but also to the people that you serve. So think about it for yourself. Now that you are aware, are you comfortable going back up to doing the things that you were doing before this moment? Like, can you go back to do it the same way? Like, no, like now you're starting to imagine, and I know you are, you're imagining yourself on stage, you imagine yourself speaking, you imagine yourself 6-figure salary, you imagine yourself seeing all these things, and you know that the way you were doing it before wasn't really working. So your awareness now says, hey, there's something I have to do about it to transition to competence. Like, I want to do this well. I want to be level 4. And that's my goal. Like, I want to help you to get to level 4. And somebody else is saying, think about the people that you serve. This is really going to hit home. Now that you are aware that you got to teach in a way that transforms, how can you ethically go back to the people that you are serving, knowing that you haven't mastered the art and science of teaching? Knowing that you're like, is anybody from Charlotte in the house? Knowing that you don't have the science, to the pedagogical skill to help them teach in a way that sticks. You're telling them that you can guarantee them or you're going to get this transformation for them, but you don't even know how to do it effectively. So with this awareness comes responsibility. So for that, I knew that there would be this season and that there's people that are just like me in this position. They're like, man, listen, all right, cool. I am unaware. I mean, I'm incompetent. I want to get competent. So I created an opportunity to allow us to be able to do that. Can I show you what that looks like? Super, super excited about it. My goal was to make sure that we can get there as quickly as possible and that you can have all the things that you need. It's funny because, I'll put it like this. I've been to a lot of weddings. I've been to quite a few weddings. And here's what I've never seen somebody at the altar and the husband or wife was taking a selfie as the sole photographer. I've never seen it. Like, I've never seen them being like, come on, babe. I've never seen it. Maybe they were doing it like as a joke, but I've never seen it like you are the photographer and you're also in the wedding. At some point, even if you are the cheapest of cheap people, as somebody has a cousin with a camera, and they were like, listen, you're gonna take pictures at my wedding, all right? Because everybody has a line in the sand that you draw where you say, all right, at some point, I'm not going to do this for myself anymore. I'm going to get somebody to help me out. Maybe it's getting somebody to mow your lawn. Maybe it's getting the plumber, right? Not the toilet person, the plumber, whatever it is. But for some reason, check this out. For expertpreneurs, if y'all are anything like me, sometimes we feel weak when the thing that we need help with is something we feel like we should be able to figure out on our own. But like, okay, cool. Thank you, DJ. I got this. Like, now I'm gonna go and figure out how to do this. Okay, cool. I'm gonna figure out how to price. Got you. I'm gonna figure out how to crush it from stage. Because admitting that I don't do this well is a sign of weakness. Now, admitting that I need somebody to trim my tree, that's fine. I'm gonna hire somebody to do that. But admitting that I need help with like speaking and getting booked and pricing, like sometimes we have that anxiety that says, no, I should be able to do this on my own. If I can't do this on my own, maybe this isn't what I'm called to be able to do. And I truly believe that you can. I just don't know like how much time it would take, how much money you would waste, how much stress you would go through. So I just want to ease your anxiety. Like, it is okay to accept the help and take it, even if it's a mental thing. I should be able to figure this out on my own. It's okay. It's a sign of strength when you say, help me out. So I created this opportunity to be able to help you go quickly, as quick as possible. All right. It is called the Monetize Your Expertise Accelerator. I created this just to make sure that we can go as quickly as possible and master these things to make sure that we're good to go. Can I break it down for you? All right. I'm going to go nice and slow because I want to make sure that you get it. If you're taking notes, now's a great time. I want to make sure that you really understand. In a couple of minutes, we're going to have a Q&A, and I'll sit right here and I'll answer any question about the accelerator. I really, really, really want to make sure that you get it. But I also want you to see, you're going to see me get excited, like how intentional I was about putting this all together, because it is exactly what I needed when I first got started. Here's what we're doing during the accelerator. First, you're going to build your expertise vault, which is this is your authority building system for packaging and profiting from what you already know. Building your expertise vault. I'm gonna let you know what goes inside of it, what stories you need, what frameworks you need, what tactics you need to put in there so that you create your own expertise vault. All right? It's similar to anybody else who has created something from their vault. Again, for me, I created from my vault the book, I created the coaching program, I created courses, I created so much from my intellectual property, from my IP, created that vault. All right. So what would you create with the vault once we make it? Once we take your information, IP, and put it all together, like I said, I created my book, my my coaching program, my signature keynote. What would you create from a vault of your IP, your intellectual property? My shirts came from there. It has some t-shirts. Yep. My merch. What would you create? I want to hear it for real. What would you create? A book? Are we? This would be your first book or a second book? Come on now, I love it. So yes, your first book is going to come from your vault. There's so many people that I follow that all of their frameworks and teachings and things, they all are in this vault, and then they create a series of books. You've seen them, right? They created a series of books. Simon Sinek, Start With Why was his first book, or the first one I know. He has like 6 since then, but it all comes from that same vault. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, creating that vault was super, super helpful, because the next thing that we did, and the next thing that we're going to do together inside of the accelerator, is create assets to be used on stage, on the page, or on the screen, right? That get results and generate revenue. So stage, page, or screen. For me, I put all of my information inside the vault, and I created my signature keynote. I also created 2 books. I also created my courses. I also created my coaching program. I created all of that inside of my vault. And watch this. The keynote alone, I took that keynote out of my vault and spoke. I dialed it in, got it on stages. I delivered that keynote 24 times over a 12-month period, and it generated me over 6 figures. That same green suit, that one keynote. Listen, y'all, it was the same suit, the same jokes, it was the same stories, it was the same everything. If you ever look at, I'm gonna show you in a second, when you look at a video of me speaking, like it is the same. Different locations is the same suit. And that's not even talking about the book sales, that's not talking about the curriculum, that's not talking about the merch. I'm talking about just the keynote. So think about the thing that you are going to create. Is it your TEDx talk? Is it your course, your curriculum? What is it that you're going to create that you're going to be able to use? We're going to do a curriculum. You did tell me that, yeah. My curriculum came from the vault too. Like it all is aligned. That is literally exactly how we came up with the book manuscript or the book outline. We went into the vault and said, how can we turn this, pull out chapters? Pull out 8 chapters, got a book. All right? It all comes from the vault. And then lastly, we are going to strategize on how to develop a personal brand that builds credibility and separates you from everybody else. We talked about the fact that you've got to become known for your thing. I was talking to somebody recently, and she was like, you know what the good book says? You build it and they will come. I was like, what book you been reading? First of all, when I hear the good book, I hear the Bible. That is not in the Bible. Build it and they will come is not in the Bible, because that is not true. It is not true that if you build it, they will come. You have to build it. You got to let people know it exists. You got to nurture them. You got to send reminders. You got to 19 people registered for tonight. All right. There's not 19 people in this room. All right. I'm super proud of you for showing up and taking that initiative to say, I need to figure out what I need to do to unlock my next level. But just the fact that I rented this space, just the fact that I spent money in Facebook ads to get people to see me, just the fact that I built it doesn't mean they're going to come. What makes them come is when you build a personal brand. A lot of us, they have personal connections where it's like, I know what you do and I know what you're capable of, and I want to see how you can help me. That's from a personal brand. So I actually am partnering with my friend Rod, and Rod is going to come through, and he is going to be here for the accelerator, and he's going to help us strategize how to build our personal brands. This is Rod. His clients, he told me, because of an NDA, I can't tell you who his clients are. He's a brand strategist, but I 100% guarantee that everybody in here knows at least one of his clients. He showed me his client list, and I was like, bro, that's dope. But he is their brand strategist, and he's going to be here, and he's going to help strategize our brands as well. All right. So far, is this making sense? Okay. I'll show you what goes in the vault, build the vault, and literally create from it. It's a hands-on experience. We're going to create from the vault, live and in person. It's not theoretical. I'm not saying now go back and create. We're going to side by side together in a room like this with your laptops open, create from the vault. You can walk away with your book manuscript at the end of the accelerator. Okay. So let me show you what's going on these 5 days. Day 1 is the evening kickoff, where we're going to set goals and get a baseline of metrics. I need to see where you are so I know where to take you. Day 2 is that full hands-on experience that I was just mentioning, so that you can actually create the assets for the stage, the page, and the screen. We're going to create them in real time the day 2. Day 3, 4, and 5 are virtual, okay? Day 1 and 2, they're in person right here in Charlotte. 3, 4, and 5 are virtual. On day 3, You're gonna learn your teaching style. Right now it was a soft, like, are you a performer, are you a producer? No, we're actually gonna go hard and decide what you are so I can tell you how to maximize that. Day 4, we're going to build your personal brand with Rod. Day 5, well, Rod is gonna be here in person in Charlotte too. And then day 5, we're going to show you that repeatable system that you can use to generate revenue time and time again. I told you about the signature frameworks that you can use to turn into a keynote, a TED Talk, or whatever it is that you can repeat it time and time again, right? Chris Brown singing the same songs. Get your system together, get that going, and you get to go. So watch how we can do this. Super simple, break it down for you. Because you're right here in Charlotte, it's really easy to just show up. That's why I wanted to make sure we did this here in Charlotte so you can see, like, you don't even have to travel anywhere. It's literally in this same zip code where we will be. So just break down what's included in this experience. So far, is it making sense though? Is it feeling aligned with something that would be helpful? Yeah, for sure. All right, so you're gonna get that expertise vault, the build out. I'm gonna tell you what to go in it, and we're gonna build it together. The frameworks, the stories, the packaging, all those great things. You're gonna walk away with your signature asset. We're gonna choose one. You're gonna work on the keynote. You're gonna work on the book. Like, what is it that we're working on, right? We're gonna get that personal brand strategy with Rod. You're also going to get a confusion to clarity guide, which is you take that with you at the end of every day. So you're not worrying about, like, taking pictures of the screen and things like that. Make sure that you get that guide that is all of our notes, as well as you get access to the replays. If you virtually, you can't be there or something of that nature. The accountability pods are my favorite. We put you into pods where even after the accelerator ends, you get to continue working with people to really, really get it going throughout the year. I'm super excited about that. And you get the VIP live sessions with coaching, okay? So you said it feels aligned. If you look at all this, you tell me that you would create a book. You both said book. What else would you create?
It's in my curriculum as well.
Well, you said book and curriculum. Yeah. All right, Josh, what are you creating? Price, what are you creating?
I wanted to create like a fitness network, like a event. But I don't know if that's
What's a coaching program? It's because you would need, that's a coaching program. You would put your fitness information in there, and you would create the week program, the programming for each week, for sure.
Keynote.
You want to create your signature keynote? Come on now. I love it. So when you create this thing, you can obviously see that you would use it to generate not only impact in the fitness space, impact in the book, impact in the keynote, but also income. Yeah, based on what you said, this feels right. You can probably turn this into a keynote that's over $5,000. Your fitness program, depending on how many people get in there, is over $5,000. So you can definitely value this, your book curriculum, at over $5,000 for sure. Okay? Now, with it being valued at over $5,000, would it make sense? This is an easy question. Just make sure that you hear it. The easy question. Would it make sense to make a one-time 4-figure investment for a repeatable 4-figure return?
Yes.
I just want to see because sometimes I thought I had to go into this whole like price versus value thing, but you get it. You're thinking like entrepreneurs, you're thinking like business owners. Sometimes people see price and they're like, oh, that's how much I'm going to lose. No, this is what you're investing so that you can repeat time and time again. So would it make sense that you would pay this price for one time to get over and over again? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, all right, good. That's the easy stuff. I'm glad it makes sense. All right, so somebody say, drop the 5. Drop the 5, all right, because the investment is actually just $497. Would it make sense for a 3-figure investment to get a 5-figure return?
Yes.
It's a whole lot more sense, a whole lot of sense, right? So the whole purpose of putting this all together was to make sure that it made sense. Again, I'll show you what it really is. The QR code is right there on the screen. If you want to scan it, do me a favor and just scan it. There's no commitment to scan. Just scan. I just want you to follow along with me on your phones. So here's what could have happened. I see you scanning the screen. Good job. Here's what could have happened. I could have pre-recorded a course. I could have pre-recorded a course. I could have sat down on the computer and said, here's how you build your vault. Here are the things that you do. Something I've done time and time again in the past. I could have pre-recorded a course and people would have bought it. James, at $497, people would buy a course. But this is literally me showing up live and in person. The evening kickoff event, the meal is included. And it's going to be a good one too. right? On that Sunday is all day on Sunday with hands-on experience, and then you still have the 3 days when we get back that are virtual. Like, this is really me showing up live in person because that's absolutely what I love to do. Michelle, good job. Good to see you. Scan the QR code on the screen, please. Thank you so much. So, I'm glad that you're back. All right, but for real, like, this is the and you get to be inside the community. That's why I said the accountability pods are so dope. So you're going to be inside the accountability pods even throughout the accelerator, but even after that as well. All right. Enrollment super simple. I saw that everybody scanned the screen. This is how quick it is. This is the website you saw. Yes. Yes. When you scroll down, you see this is in about 11 days. It'll tell you everything that we're going to cover, which I just showed you. You'll see the two options, $797 and $497. I didn't talk about that. That's only for reserved super special people. But we got the $497 is what I've been talking about. When you click there, you'll see that we have a couple of different options. I partnered with Afterpay and Klarna to make it such a no-brainer. Because if you would make a 3-figure investment, let me break this down real quick. You already said it makes sense to make a 3-figure investment for a 5-figure return. You already said that makes sense, right? So watch, when we partnered with Afterpay and Klarna, what they will allow you to do is split up that payment, sometimes $0 down. Anybody familiar with Afterpay and Klarna? Sometimes $0 down. Everybody is different depending on, your circumstances. But you can split up those payments. What I would do, since this is just in 2 weeks, listen, you pay down the first payment, I don't know how much it's gonna be. Everybody's different, but a small amount for the first payment. By the time you get this accelerator and walk away with your book manuscript or your next signature keynote and the free gift I'm about to give you at the end, you can easily make back your investment before you even have to pay that off. You think you can make $500 in a keynote, or $500 from a speech, $500 from selling 100 books, right? Like, it's definitely easy to get that investment back. So that is what I wanted to say. But if also you're like, I don't know, there also is a money back guarantee. Why? Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? If you come to the 2 days in Charlotte and you're like, thank you, but I'm glad we built the vault out. I'm glad I got this asset. The food was good on Saturday night, but I'm not really feeling it. I'm not even going to stress about it. There's the email address if you want to message Christine and say, I'm not really feeling it. No questions asked. We'll send the money right back. Okay? But if you're thinking to yourself, that's not going to happen, it's probably not. Because it's not going to happen. Nobody's ever asked for a money back guarantee, but I will show you what has happened.
Hi, I'm Tom Pache. As a speaker for a long time,
That's my man, Tom.
We can't hear.
That's my man, Tom. Michelle, you remember Tom? You remember Tom? Love it. Yeah, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom Pache. As a speaker for a
Oh, no. You got to hear Tom, bro. You got to hear Tom. James, can you turn that on?
Yep.
Love it. But I was showing you what Tom has experienced. As a matter of fact, I wonder if my computer's just loud enough. Oh, I know what happened. It's trying to come out of here. Why? That's not even like a thing. You gotta hear Tom, though.
Hi, I'm Tom Pache. As a speaker for a long time, I was struggling with how to explain what I speak about. And this was difficult because I couldn't figure out how to position my message in an articulate way that truly connected with the right clients I wanted to get. And this left me feeling scattered and really frustrated every time I was talking to somebody about my work, because even though I knew I had something valuable to share, I just didn't know how to frame it. When I started working with Daryl, he was the one who really helped me cut through the noise and get crystal clear on the core message. He showed me how to simplify what I wanted to say so that it was easy to understand, and I could do that concisely and quickly. More importantly, also how to position it in a way that speaks directly to my ideal audience. So when I started doing this, after that process, my confidence went way up. I was landing more gigs because I wasn't just talking about what I did. I was actually communicating in a way that attracted the right client, was opening new opportunities, and made my brand feel aligned and professional with who I am. So because of that, I just have so much more clarity, more confidence every time I talk about my work, which results in more work and knowing exactly who I serve, how to serve them, and why that matters. So that clarity has since helped grow my business, but it's also allowed me to actually enjoy the process so much more because I finally feel like everything is connected and intentional, which is the way it should be. Thank you, Daryl.
So my man Tom was a 6th grade English teacher, and then went into speaking. And I'm gonna be honest, he was already speaking when I met him. I mean, let's just make that clear. I don't want to pretend like I made Tom Pache, right? He was already speaking when I met him, but as he mentioned, he was all over the place. You know, he was like, I can do it all. And I was like, Tom, this is what you need to be known for. Narrow it down, focusing on it. And Tom, and when you see this man Tom now, this is Tom. You know what I'm saying? So all over stages, doing things all over the world, and he's just like, that's it. Get it? This is why, because he was able to kind of see, this is who I focus on. You see the suit? You see the suit? You see the suit? All right, but is that helpful so far? Let me ask you this before I go any further. Money aside, I want to have a conversation for real. Money aside, if you were to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I don't need it, 10 being like, this is exactly what will help me go to the next level, where would you put it? We got 2 10s. We're at a 10? We're contemplating. And you don't have to say 10. I really want to know. If it's not a 10, I want to hear. What you thinking? You go ahead, give it to me. Be honest. I'm ready for it. Yeah. I see you.
I would say, not because the content is top notch, that's not the question. I would say a 7 to 8 simply because of where I am in my life in terms of working through a marketing strategy outside of here. And so that's not a reason. Not because the content is top notch.
No, I love it. You're working with a marketing strategy, meaning you already have assets and things like that?
Looking at, our brand right now, having people help me with that. So, yeah.
Love it. That's amazing. You have a strong content strategy, like to get like high quality footage and videos and things like that?
Working through that.
Okay.
But when money is an issue, you kind of have to do what you have to do.
No, for sure. No, I got you. Would that make it a 10 if you could get content as well?
In my mind, that's already a 10. But I'm just saying from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary, but it's not urgent.
Follow. No, I'm there. I love it. Necessary, not urgent. Price. I'm curious.
But worth the investment, though. So don't get it twisted.
All right. I love this. Market research. That's James's word. Market research. What are you thinking? Price aside, value.
You gonna say my name twice?
I'm going to say your name twice. Price? Oh, price?
No, I'm actually with him, just understanding where I'm at, and then I have like 3 different, we talked on the phone a lot, and we talked about how, I have a counseling thing, then I have a ministry thing, then I got this other thing going on, right? So I'm trying to figure out, that will help, but it won't help me at this moment, because now I gotta really scale down, like, what am I gonna do? Because you all over the place. You gonna counsel, you gonna ministry, you gonna do this, you gotta figure out, although you are experiencing these spots, you need to figure out what that spot is.
Absolutely. No, I got you. Yeah, we'll have a Q&A in a second. But can I coach you for a second?
You always do it.
Because, so what I'm hearing you say is that you feel scattered and all over the place. What I'm showing you is how to get clarity and focus on that one thing. It is tough. Niching down tough. It's tough. Do I give up the ministry? Do I stop talking about this? Do I stop? But that's literally what we do in that full day together, where I'm saying, this is what you focus on. This is how you position it. This is who you help. This is the result that you get for them. And that is actually the next thing that you need. You said you don't need it right now because you need to get that together. This is what's going to help you get that together. And then from there, you build whatever you want. So I just want to see that, put that in there. But love it. Thank you. So I'm really, really honestly curious about it. So thank you for sharing that. What's your name, my friend?
Very,
One more time.
very.
Barry. Love it.
That's
Very.
never.
Never going to forget that, Barry. All right.
And then he always talking deep. That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
All right, Barry. So check this out. And everybody else, you can check this out too. Michelle, you're allowed to check this out. Every morning, I give my kids ginger turmeric. Why? Because my grandma told me that this was going to help them not get sick. My kids just get sick a whole lot. And honestly, it's been working. I give them a shot every morning. Ginger turmeric, boil it, give them about a quarter cup. The thing is though, they hate it. It's gross. Like they cannot stand it. It's so spicy, it's nasty like that. They're 6 and 3. I don't like the ginger turmeric. But it's undeniable that when they drink it, they are more healthy. It's undeniable. So as a dad, I know that in order for them to get the thing that they want to get, good health, they got to push through the uncomfortable part that they don't necessarily want to do. I know that. So as dad, what do I do? Put a little honey in there, make it a little bit better. But also, I'm like, all right, baby, just count to 3 and just do it. Or I'm just like, all right, take big sips. Because they like to take the little, it's gross, swallow it. Just take a big sip, right? So I know that my job is to encourage them through the point that feels a little bit tough to get them to the thing that I know that they need that's really going to help them out. So I call this the ginger turmeric bonus. Because this is the thing that I'm positioning this right here because I want to make it go down a little bit easier because I promise you, I would not have invested in this night to put together something or to put something in front of you that I did not know was exactly what I needed when I was in your shoes. 100%. I believe in this thing so much. So to help you that is on the valley of decision, to help you on the edge, to say, bro, do it. Take a big swallow. Here's the honey. Just go. You need this thing. Here we go. Here's what we do. Here's what I'm doing. I told you the $797 one, the $800 one, that was for a special group of people. With that one, they're sitting down with the videographer that I brought out, the one that comes with me that shot that exact video right there. He'll be here and he's shooting content, Barry. And 3 people are allowed to sit with him. He has 20-minute segments where he sits. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say. You're going to be able to use that kind of content for social media, for your website, for ads, for your booking form, for client, whatever it is. If you're saying I need a stronger social media presence, I need some videos, I need some assets, you're going to sit down with my professional videographer and he's going to shoot for you and you're going to have access to that content. That is normally for the VIP elite because it's really intensive. He's sitting down and working with those people. There can only be 3 slots. I don't believe in fake scarcity. I don't believe in making things up just to try to make people buy stuff. No, we really just only have the capacity to do it for 3 people. 1 person from already bought. She's coming in from Baltimore. So there are 2 slots remaining for that. The next 2 people tonight that decide that they'll join the accelerator will automatically be upgraded to the elite. Meaning you get this footage and you get to work with the videographer. That $800 package, but it's at the $497 price. That making sense? That's the ginger turmeric. I was like, listen, they're going to be here in the room. I know sales psychology. I know that if you walk out, you know it's the thing you need. You just told me it was a 10. You know it's the thing you need. James is in the back to be able to help you with the afterpay. If you say I need to split the payments up, I don't know your wallets. I don't know your pockets. You might do the whole thing at once. I don't know. What I'm saying is somebody is still going to sit in their position and say, I don't know if it's for me. Does this make sense? Does this make it any easier? Yeah. Like, get the content. If you're thinking I'll just do it tomorrow, you might as well do it now and get the content. Okay? And also, just to let you know, this is also not fake scarcity. Tomorrow's my birthday. Appreciate it. Jesus here. And early bird pricing ends on my birthday. I set that up from the beginning. So everybody who's been purchasing tickets in the past had until tomorrow to get the early bird pricing, which is what you just was reflected, the $497 to $797. It does go up tomorrow. It's already programmed and the website is going to change. So between tomorrow and the rest of it, it does go up. Again, not making it up just to, to do anything. That's literally when it ends. So if it's not enough for the ginger turmeric, if it's not enough to say, let me get the content. If you're saying, let me wait until tomorrow, tomorrow's price is not today's price. And you might as well figure out what we can do. Again, James is back there to help you out with the afterpay. Also, it's just about time for the Q&A. But remember, everybody has a free gift, and I'm gonna give that to you in just a second. So during the Q&A, you can ask me any questions you want about the accelerator. I want to make sure that you really, really, really understand it so that you feel really comfortable, so that it makes sense. That was very well thought out. But before you ask the questions, I have a question for you. It is a weird question, but I'm asking anyway. It is, Michelle. Why do you always look at me like that? Here's the question. What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't put you on stage in front of 6,000 people? What if you go through the accelerator and it doesn't make you a 7-figure speaker? What if all it does is get you clarity on who you serve? What if all it does is give you the the manuscript for your curriculum in your book? What if all it does is give you a focus? Would it still be worth it? So if it would still be worth it, then I believe my arms are open. It's an open invitation. I'd love to see you there, okay? It's time for the Q&A. For the free gift, I'll tell you what it is, and then you can start asking questions. The free gift is a speaking engagement. Do you want it? Oh, see, now y'all looking like, I don't know. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been exploring, and if somebody follows me on social, you may have seen that I'm on a journey to get 20 bookings in 30 days. Has anybody seen that? Anybody follow me on socials? Oh, you got kicked out of social media. I've been on a journey to get 30 bookings in 20 days, starting as ground zero. I said, let me see if I can do this. 20 bookings in 30 days. So far, I'm at 5. And it's been 14 days. No, it's been 13 days. So I've learned how to get 5 in 14 days. I want to show you how to get 1 in 14 days. Is that all right? The free gift is going to be a sequence over the next 14 days where I will work with you directly via text message. And I'm going to drip out my sequence for how I got these 5 booking engagements in 14 days. And it's by using warm leads and people that you already know. For example, you are, that the principle that you are 1 or 6 degrees of separation away from something. I guarantee you, from the contacts in your phone, there's a connection between you and somebody who wants you to speak because you can provide the value for the person that needs it. You have a connection with one of those speaking engagements that I got. I picked up my kids from school and was like, hey, you guys ever bring in speakers? I'm going to show you how to go through your warm leads list and see what connections you possibly have to get a booked engagement in the next 14 days. It's a free gift, okay? All you're going to do is go see James at the end. He'll show you how to sign up. And again, it's free. What questions do we have about the accelerator?
So for me, it's a wonderful opportunity to do the speaking engagement, but I don't feel like I'll be ready to do a speaking engagement within this time frame. So
I think you'll be ready. But also, the engagement is not going to happen in 14 days. The booking is going to happen in 14 days. When walking through the process to book it, I would be a miracle work. Well, I wish I could get an event in 14 days. It's crazy. But a lot of the ones I'm booking out are for like next school year and things like that. So I'm saying I'll show you how to get booked in 14 days. You can get a date on the calendar. The date might not be in the next 14 days, but you'll get a date on the calendar. That's the free gift. Yeah.
Okay, so I think the value and the content is like very necessary to elevate to the next level. And you know me, I think my concern or my problem is not with the program, but within my own life. I feel like a lot of people have already started their career. They have a niche, like my mom, even though she's not a speaker, yet she already is in the mental health business. She's a therapy practice. You were a teacher before you started speaking. I don't have anything that I'm even remotely close to being an expert in. I'm still building that, learning myself. So in an honest opinion, it was like, would I just jump in without even being even close to expert, even having a career start or anything like that? Yeah, go ahead. You know where I'm going.
Ms. Price, how many muscle ups can you do?
Sorry, one more time.
Yeah,
No, one more time.
exactly. Josh, how many muscle ups can you do?
In a row, or I can do about 15 or 20 in a row.
Do you know what a muscle up is? You telling me you don't have expertise? People sometimes overlook the expertise we have because to ourselves we feel like we don't know enough. You're saying you want to start a fitness group coaching program, and you tell me you don't have expertise in fitness?
I guess there's a lack of confidence because I struggle with some. I tell myself I'm gonna get up every day in the morning, and some weeks I don't get up at all. Some weeks I get 3 days. Some days I do get. Some weeks I do get like 5 or 6 in a row. But I guess I have a lack of confidence in my ability to stay disciplined to my own.
Yep. And that's the imposter syndrome, because the imposter inside of you is telling you that you need to be perfect to help somebody who you once were. You said you get up 3 days in a row. Somebody is not doing anything. They're not getting up early at all. And they're looking up at you like, man, how's he so consistent? He did it 3 days this week. And because you're not where you want to be, you feel like you're not qualified to help somebody who you used to be. You're always qualified to help the person that you used to be.
That's good.
And literally here, what we're doing is I'm helping you pull that out of you. This is literally what we're doing on that Sunday. I'm pulling out inside of you and helping you realize, outside looking in, this is what your expertise is. We're going to put it in a vault. This is your expertise vault. And from here, you can go anywhere. It's not one of the things that you can really do on your own. You need somebody to pull it out of you like I'm doing right now.
I guess one of my concerns is that what you said, the authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have the skill. I don't know how to like compact it and put it, like wrap it in a nice box. And I don't have a lot of people, hey, Mrs. Symes, can you come and do this speaking engagement? So that's where my concern is.
Yeah, and that's frustrating because it's almost like the thought that if you build it, they will come. It's like, I would love for that to happen. I'm incorporated, like I'm an LLC. I've been doing this for years. Like, you know what I'm about. I'm on psychologytoday.com. Like, come find me, right? But again, it's that personal brand that allows people to build trust with you. And then once they build trust with you, that's what leads to traction, and that's what they want to work with you. So that's why it was so important for me to put the personal brand aspect in here and grow the personal brand. How real can I be?
Real.
Okay. You've mentioned that you want to like put yourself out there on social media and grow a little bit more. I'm going to be honest, like I know that that's probably going to be a learning curve for you.
It's definitely
Right? But with Rod, to have the personal brand strategy, he's doing a personal brand audit and a personal brand strategy session with all of us to see like, here's what you're doing, here's the moves you need to make, and here's how you go from here to grow your personal brand so that the people who God called you to serve can find you. You know how frustrating it is to know that you got the solution that to somebody else's pain and they don't even know that you exist? That's why it's important to build a personal brand. And that's why that's a part of the experience. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, what else you got?
If I started with fitness, is it, I guess, can I branch somewhere else later? Because I wanted to do like life coaching in general. Like once I became more disciplined in my life.
When you become, first I'm going to say, I'll answer the question. When you become known for doing one thing well, people want to know about everything you did. Why does, what's his name? Shannon Sharp? Shannon Sharp's podcast get millions and millions of views. He's interviewing people about their lives. He's interviewing Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, and these types of people. Not because Tyler Perry's a podcaster. It's because Tyler Perry did one thing well. He's now a Black billionaire, and we want to know everything that you did to get there. You want to position yourself as a life coach? Yeah. Start off with this fitness program, build that up, and let it be sustainable. And then somebody sees you at age of 30 with a sustainable fitness coaching business, and they're like, can you help coach me in my life? I want to be where you are, right? You got to be known for doing one thing well, and then, yeah, you can do anything from there. You got it. So I'll stick around. If there are questions, 100%, I'll 100% answer them. I want to make sure that you feel really good about it. Is this making sense, though? Did it feel aligned to what's going to help you grow in life, in business?
I want to, you know, we already talked about what I'm already doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know do you think that this kind of aligns with it, or if it's going to like, if it's gonna be like, I'm doing too many things at the same time, because that's
Yeah.
what my real fear is, because I've got
Well, good.
too many things going on.
Thank you for being real, right? And I will be 100% real with you. I think this one area that is helpful, especially tonight, is that your program doesn't give you content, right? We mentioned that. So to be able to sit down with the videographer and get content that you could actually use and post and it look really good, and again, I'll dial it in and tell you what to say and all those great things, I think that would be super, super helpful for you. And I don't think that it will be competing because it's not going against anything that you're working on in your program. What it is reinforcing it. So as you're building out your program and things like that, I'm helping you with the skill of like, here's how you tell your brand story. Here's how you show up for your clients. Here's how you master the art and science side of teaching. And you're really getting known for that thing. Like, this is what Andrea Symes is known for. It's coaching programs, curriculum, it's a book. It's not competing, it's still putting it all together. I'm gonna be honest with you, I do have an opportunity that I do believe would be competing, and I would let you know that it's probably not for you. But this is not that. This would not distract from what you're doing. You know?
Well, sign me up.
Sign me up, that's what James is for. But yes, honestly, for real, I really appreciate your time. I can't even understate. There we go. It's just faces from here is what's throwing me off. Nah, I can't understate, honestly, just the amount of showing up. Like, we didn't even have any food tonight, and you rock with me, 6 to 8. That's awesome. Appreciate you. But again, James has your free gift. I'll rock with you for the next 14 days to really give you my exact frameworks, Excel docs, all those great things that I've been working through to help you find that next engagement. That's just for coming out. You get access to that. And then again, if you have questions about how to join the experience, James will help you with that as well. But I'm here to answer any questions, all right?
All right.
Appreciate you.
What time is it on that Sunday?
Sunday
Or
is,
in general, what is the times for the meetings?
yeah, so the Saturday night is the 6 to 8 is an evening kickoff. We have a meal and goal setting and get to know each other and networking meal and things like that. Again, the meal is provided for everybody. Then Sunday is that full day. All right, we're going 8:30 to 5, full day, get it all in, have a break for lunch. But in the morning, we're building this, where I'm telling you what needs to go in your vault. I'm helping pull out what I just did with you right there, pull out your core story, pull out your brand message, your frameworks, your unique IP, pulling that out. Session 2, we're actually building with your laptop the vault, and I'm gonna use proprietary softwares and things like that. Then we have lunch. Then Rod is gonna kick us off with the strategy session. Now that we built it out, he's gonna give you the brand strategy on how you accelerate this thing. And then the last session of the day is when we're actually gonna build from the vault. We're gonna sit down again with our laptops, create your book manuscript, your speech outline, whatever it is, and then you sit with the videographer and get your videos taken. We'll be done by 5.
That's all 6 to 8.
No, that was the 2 days.
No, I'm saying like 6 to 8 on each day.
No. So 6 to 8 was Saturday night,
Uh-huh.
full day in person on Sunday.
Okay.
And then those 3 virtual ones are at 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get access to the replays and things like that as well. For sure. All right. Love it. All right, get your free gift. See, James, I'm here. Give me a high five, a handshake, a hug, something. Glad that y'all are here. Let me end this up. That's okay. You can do that. That's allowed.
We'll follow.